Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake running on PC. Alright, I'm probably going to play this the slowest of anybody out there. But this is really how I play all of these classic RPGs. I mean, they're not really fast-paced games. You spend a lot of time leveling up your characters and not that much time doing much else. You know, because back in these days, I mean, there wasn't much adventure. Like, you can only fit so much story and character and dialogue into, you know, those tiny NES carts. So we went south last time, right? Let's see what we have up here in the north. I'm not exactly sure what to do with Bob. I mean, the Monster Tamer is a new class. So far, he doesn't see. He gives an enemy a little leg, sometimes leaving them to the stunned. Yeah, he doesn't do much at this point in time. He doesn't really do much. Reeve. Is this where we're supposed to go? Honestly, I can't remember. Resting a while or staying the night at an inn will fully restore your HP and MP. You'll find yourself worse for wear after a bruising battle and head to the nearest inn to relax. That said, staying at an inn is definitely not a cure for death. You'll need to pay a church or a nun a visit if you have someone in need of resurrection. Welcome to the village of Reeve. Do you ever happen upon all sorts of bits and bobs whilst exploring the realm? Why, I myself have found countless edible herbs, pieces of forgotten gear, and even the odd treasure chest from time to time. Gifts from the goddess, I say. Better they serve someone than go to waste, eh? Okay, doesn't say anything different. Yeah, the remake is really, really awesome. See, this is a game that should be in 3D. Wouldn't it be fun to have a 3D mode of this? Oi, Sunshine, you best be making an effort to pick up any equipment you see on the ground out and about on your travels. They're all what remains of adventurers like you, who were lucky enough to make it home. Well, mostly anyway. Some of it's probably just gear some geezers dropped in it. Actually, what I am happy is that they didn't try to use the Old English language like the original games, where it's like, "Thou art wandering about and looking for the place of thine rest." It's like, yeah, that was so annoying. It's like Ultima did that too, back in the day. It's like, stop that. It doesn't sound good. The door's locked. It's like I'm not suffering from tuberculosis and I have a full set of teeth. You know, please don't make everybody talk like that. You have a promise to me. You have to promise me to kill lots and lots of monsters. They got my mommy and daddy. Sniff. Yeah, no, I mean, if it wasn't, again, if it wasn't for, like, Stellar Blade, and maybe a couple other games this year, I mean, this would be like a contender in like an off year for a game of the year, just because of how well it's done. But you know, it's a bummer for everybody else because this is a year that Stellar Blade was released. So, so Silent Hill 2 and Black Myth, they just have to wait. They don't get the #1 spot. Even Elden Ring, you know, the expansion of Elden Ring, you know, it was good, but like, I've totally forgotten about it now that I stopped playing it. It's not like I want to go back and play that game again, you know. Oh, I have no money. Oh man, I am broke. Okay, we gotta go fight some stuff. You gotta spend some more time grinding. If you spot something suspicious when you're out wandering, 9 times out of 10, it'll be something interesting. So don't just gawp from afar, get up close and investigate. Let's see. Ooh, found somebody's stash of 33 coins. They're going to be upset when they find out. Funny, isn't it, how martial artists actually get weaker if you give them a sword or a spear to wield? Oh, I suppose they spend so much time training with their fists that they don't know the first thing about blades and spears. Something to keep in mind if you ever meet a martial artist. Yeah, I'm super curious about that Nier content. You a lot of travelers, are you? Oh, here from Alihan, eh? Don't tell me you've come looking for a wrecking ball, too. Honestly, what's so good about these things that people go traipsing around the countryside looking for them? I wonder where that lad came from anyway. Yeah, the only bad thing about this release is the frame pacing. It's like, how could they? I mean, they have been. I mean, Square Enix has been criticized about their frame pacing for all of their releases for the last 5 or 6 years, and they still managed to screw it up every single time. I heard about the one. Heard about that. Heard the one about the bag that walked into an inn at Reeve? No? Too bad. Okay. You worry about me, kid. I worry about you, kid. Door's locked. If anything, I feel bad for people who can't really enjoy a game like this. Like, for whatever reason, they just don't like these kind of games. It's like, man, you're really missing out. But you know, I do kind of get it. Yeah, there might be a mod. I don't know. It depends on if this what engine this is running in. Divine Dagger. Made from pure silver's lightweight dagger won't you down in a fight? Oh, they can all use the dagger? That's interesting. Well, I have no money, so it actually doesn't even matter. I don't know why I'm even looking. Say, have you heard of the Thief's Key? I once heard from an old bloke in the Dreamer's Tower. Oh, I once heard some old bloke in the Dreamer's Tower look after it. All on his lonesome on that tiny isle west of Ilahan. You know, there's actually a hidden passage in the woods south of here that leads right to the tower. I've also want to take a look at it myself, but the forest is oh so dark and, well, I'm not exactly the bravest man you'll ever meet. Are you a man? You look like a child. Oh, UE4? Maybe then. Got a copy of the Diary of a Hard Man? Oh, Sounds like a book somebody will write in this day and age. Diary of a Hard Man. How to be an alpha. I once had this martial artist friend who refused to go into battle without his trusty pair of claws. Always said he felt weak without them. They're a bit hard to get on your hands, though, if you pardon the pun. Oh, do I need to read the books? Chucky tone that details how to be a meathead in words even a child can understand. Simple illustrations teach the reader how to maximize their physical development through intense exercise. Meowmurai is now all gains, no brains. Okay, now I'm a meathead. That's so funny. I feel that way sometimes, in this modern age. The world map is full of secret areas just waiting for someone to discover them. These spots often look like a little bit different from their surroundings, so keep an eye out for them in your travels. Stumble upon such a spot and you might find a stash of items or gold coins. If you're lucky, you might find something altogether more special than either of those. That's okay, I don't mind being a meathead. Curses, I must have lost my sack somewhere when I was descending the mountains to the east. I thought things were bad enough when I managed to leave my clothes in that cave to the south. My mind was not what it once was, neither is my wardrobe. Oh, hey, it's that divine dagger that I couldn't afford. And you know, who deserves it? Everybody can use it. I suppose I should be greedy and just use it for myself, huh? I'm the star of the story anyway. Yeah, I like how you can play this, I mean, you know, just like every classic RPG, you can build your different party. Narrowing, strong medicine, 2 seeds of luck. And so yeah, you can experience the same game, but you know, in a completely different way with a different party build-up, party makeup. You see that a lot with the original Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's too bad that this effort is so expensive. With Dragon Quest, at least you know it's going to sell. You know, because it's such a big name. But you know, all those other like original Square Enix properties, they're trying to do like new IPs. It's like, you know, they spend all that money on new IPs and nobody played them. Or less people played them. Yeah, it's actually kind of too bad that EA basically is abandoned Ultima, which I think they bought. I think they bought that entire Origin catalog. And the original Lord British, of course, he's off doing things that are not Ultima anymore either. I mean, he wanted to end the series. But I'd love to see them remake the Ultima games. I mean, those are absolute... I mean, that's what Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy stole from originally, was Ultima. So that, like, really is the beginning of the JRPG. Ultima and Dungeon Master. Unfortunately, the only way to play Ultima is through DOSBox, and the game runs at like 10,000 times the speed. it's very, very difficult to play. Yeah, I actually thought about spinning up Ultima 7. That was like one of my favorites, because that was the murder mystery one. But again, you know, kind of running those old DOS games on DOSBox, even on a modern setup, is sort of a pain, and nothing ever really quite worked right. Then I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just play the Super Nintendo version. But then I forgot the Super Nintendo version is like heavily... it's heavily censored. Even though it looks substantially better than the PC version. So it's like, well, I guess that series is just dead. Kind of no point in it. Yeah. It's funny how you and I both love this music, but our fellow band member, he just thinks it sounds like a marching band. And he's not wrong. It does kind of sound like a marching band, but it's a really good marching band, you know? I guess he's not a fan of the Drumline movies. I'm not either, if you're wondering. Those movies are terrible. You know, the cool thing is that since they did this one so well, that means when we finally get Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I mean, they're going to be even better than this. You know, they'll have more time to kind of refine the technology. So yeah, definitely a lot of stuff to look forward to. I know I thought about buying a PS5 Pro just because I know the prices are going to basically be through the roof once all the tariffs hit. But I was like, man, I just can't bring myself to do it. Even though it makes playing Stellar Blade more fun, they are going to release the PC version of Stellar Blade next year. So I'll just wait instead of being impatient like I always am. It's kind of funny too to see so many smaller developers out there sort of embrace the old school graphics. You know, that 16-bit, 32-bit look. And then, you know, Square Enix comes along and says, "You know what about those kind of graphics? We're gonna do it even better than you ever possibly can because we got the money." It's like, so screw your faithful 20 by 20 pixels. Because, like, I can imagine if they ever wanted to do like the Chrono Trigger treatment to this, you know, how much better that would look. Yeah, I imagine DQ1 and 2 are going to be the same level of quality. I said, there's no way this thing doesn't sell. I'd be very surprised if people didn't pick it up, especially in Japan. You know, where it's I mean, the game is just it's legendary over there. It's only now just becoming popular over here, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Chrono Trigger is popular in Japan too. I mean, you know, it's all Toriyama's art. Just like this game, or just like the Dragon Quest games. You know, good and bad, right? Yeah, it's almost kind of a shame that they did the pixel remasters, and they didn't really do it in this style. But again, I know that it's hard to say whether or not that would sell. I mean, I'd love to buy, you know, the original 6 Final Fantasy games done in this style, but who knows if everybody else feels that way. Yeah, FF9 would be interesting, especially since they, you know, they had that that series of indie developers make that Final Fantasy IX demo, just like the first area, the first town, which was super duper impressive. I mean, they even had like voice acting and everything. I always wanted to see that be a thing, but of course, I don't think Square Enix will spend that kind of money on that game. Yeah, it's too bad that that demo that they had wasn't available to the public. You know. Yeah, I don't think Final Fantasy VIII is very popular. It's probably the least popular of all the games. Just because of that the draw system, where you had to, you know, draw all your actions and turns from all the monsters, and like the more levels you gained, the harder everything became. Which I'm sure sounded like a great idea at the time, but that just made people like have runs where everybody's like level 1 and beating all the bosses in one hit, or maybe 4 or 5 hits. It's pretty funny to think about. Oh no, Meiji's out of MP. There are no tents in the Dragon Quest universe. Or at least not inside of dungeons, I don't think. Ooh, my objective is updated. Yeah, look at this stuff. It's so cool looking. It's just it's how you would have wanted this stuff to look. Or it's how your kid brain imagined all this stuff looked. If he was playing in the NES days. Yeah. Yeah, no, where's Nintendo with the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD releases? They're taking an awful lot of time. I know they must have worked on them. Are they waiting until after the Switch 2 gets released to release it on Switch 1? That does sound like a very Nintendo thing. Whatever would frustrate the gamer is what they want to do. Oh, how me old bones ache, dearie. What I wouldn't give for a nice rest in this cozy little inn here. Oh. I don't remember there being an inn in the original game. I mean, there must have been, I guess. Customers, after all this time, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. Welcome to our inn, weary travelers. You must be exhausted at this late hour. Will you be staying the night, or simply stopping for a short rest? We'll stay the night, sure. Twilight Princess. Well, I mean, really, to be fair, like all the Zeldas are kind of sucky on the first hour or two. Even Wind Waker doesn't really start off with a bang. You see that lady by the top of the stairs? She looked young enough to me, but she acts for all the world like she's as old as a grand. I mean, I went back and tried to play Link to the Past a couple months ago, and I was like, man, this game is really not very good in the first couple hours. I mean, you really have to play for a while before things finally started getting good. And a lot of people consider Link to the Past like the greatest Zelda game. Although I'm convinced that those people, haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, really? Link to the Past? Come on now. Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time is way better than Link to the Past. Even though it's a real chunky look to the game. Even the remake on 3DS was still kind of chunky, you know. And of course Majora's Mask, if you really want to get technical. Yeah, well, at least we know it's going to be in the spirit of Breath of the Wild and oh yeah, the in-between game. I mean, I imagine it's going to be the remake of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Hopefully it'll be a double pack, but that doesn't sound like Nintendo to be that generous. Never know, though. I mean, it's they're such an oddball company. You never know what weird thing they're gonna do. You know, maybe they'll make the next Zelda on the alarm clock. Right? They'll make like an alarmo version. You know, just to be jackasses. Yeah. Then again, they did give us the that last Zelda where we're actually playing a Zelda, so you know they'll just do whatever comes into their weird little heads. It's like, well, we want to make another Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, but we don't want to spend that much money. So then they gave us I forget the name of the game, but yeah, and they gave us the Zelda where you're playing a Zelda, which is sort of like Tears of the Kingdom. On your adventure, you may come across some shiny trinkets known as mini medals. These can be traded for all kinds of wonderful prizes with Morgan Miniman, the mini medal enthusiast who dwells in the well in Aliahan. Aliahan? I'm just happy to actually want to play a Switch again. To want to play the Nintendo system, you know. At this point in time, I don't really want to play it unless I have to. You know, but they do have some exclusive games on there, which it's like, well, you know, it's not available on the PlayStation Store. I mean, I kind of had to play it on the Switch. You know, or it's not also available on PC. So. Yeah, I think it just needs to be... I think everything just needs to be full 1080p. I mean, it may be asking too much to do 1440p, but it just needs to be clearer. I mean, the TVs have gotten better, the technology around them has gotten better. It's just really hard to go back to the 720p image. Yeah, I thought about doing this game on the Switch, just because that's where all my other Dragon Quest games are. I was like, yeah, you know, really, am I actually going to play it on the Switch? You know, probably Probably not happily play it. Different story if it was only available on the Switch, then, you know, no problem. Well, just the frame pacing, right? I mean, even though this game is not a super high res game, at 1440p it does look really good. I mean, there is fine detail in the backgrounds. Just the characters themselves don't have like super fine detail, you know, on purpose. It's kind of funny to think too that the modern era of RPG is really striving for that real-time combat, but Dragon Quest proves that you don't have to have the real-time combat. People are more than happy to play a turn-based game, you know, as long as it's good. Yeah, I mean, it really helps with this version having the quick combat option. Like, I don't know how I'd feel if they just left it to be that really slow scrolling text. And all the turns taking a long time from the original game. I mean, you know. Ultra fast combat super duper helps. I mean, that's why we all loved... That's why we all love those 100 Heroes games. Just, I don't mind grind if it's fast. If it's fast grind, who cares, you know? It's only the slow grind where you're watching every single animation play out. You know, over and over and over again. I mean, that's infuriating. Because there was that time in like that 32-bit era where like JRPGs were all about the the long animations. Oh, and having the infinite bag is super helpful now too. Like having to manage, the size of your item bag was definitely not fun in the original. So they made like just the right improvements. Oh, I didn't realize I could just fall right off. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it would actually let me do that. But I forgot that's the shortcut to the inn. Yeah, there was something about just playing something where you don't like necessarily have to be 100% engaged, but you're still gaining levels. So you still feel like you're making progress. That's what Dragon Quest has always really been good at. It's like, well, you don't have to like manage every single turn. Because that's definitely a mood thing. Like, there are some games where it's okay for me to manage every turn, but there are others where I'm not so happy about that. Ooh, it's a boomerang. Yeah, strategy RPGs make sense to do all the managing. I mean, that's the base gameplay. It actually reminds me, I wonder what the Shadowrun folks have been up to. It's been a while since there's been a Shadowrun game. Because those were all excellent too. It's so funny, it just lets you drop right off. Well, like I said, that's how you get to the inn if you wanna heal your characters up. Yeah, that's too bad. I thought those games were super successful, the Shadowrun games. But I also think FOSSA went through like a bunch of problems. Like the company went bankrupt, and then they got bought by Wizards of the Coast, and Wizards of the Coast got bought up by something. there's some unique drama through all that, I think. If I'm remembering things correctly, at least. Disco Elysium? I don't know, man. That game really isn't that good. That's kind of one of those things that baffles me. It's like Metaphor getting like Game of the Year nominations. And you just kind of scratch my head. I'm going, you know, it's not really that good. It's just one of those things I don't get, I guess. Snore, snore.
Well. So you've come at last.
Oh, what the heck? This has some voice acting?
I've dreamt so many times of giving you this key. Heaven alone knows why. But it must mean something, so here you go. One thief's key. You'll take it, won't you?
Sure. We require the thief's key.
Now, use that to go and have a look inside the house in Reeve with a red door.
Yeah, I think the problem with Metaphor is that, like their fantasy world and their characters, they're just like done so much better by everybody else. Like in Persona, you know, because it was like a modern world setting, and it was like, it's kind of like rebellious teenagers. I think that's what made it so fresh, besides the school management parts. But then when you just make a generic fantasy game, and then it sort of falls apart. Yeah, Persona and Shin Megami Tensei are just way, way more interesting. And then having Metaphor just being just fantasy, regular old fantasy with like not even variations on tropes. It's just strictly tropes. I'm like, man, I just cannot get into this game.
Don't worry. The chap there loves visitors. He won't mind you dropping in unannounced one jot. By the way, there are books in this world so influential that they can change your whole personality. Open them with caution, that's my advice.
Maybe. I think there are certain companies that get passes no matter what game they make, right? I think Atlas is just one of those companies that they just kind of get a pass.
Off you go then. I can't stand around all day.
And I'm an Atlas fan. I mean, I love the Atlas games. You may have noticed, but there are a fair few doors in the world that are locked shut, with most doors that can be opened if you happen to have the right key. The Thief's Key, for example, can supposedly unlock all red doors in the realm. You can use the Zoom spell or a Chimera Wing to return to any towns, castles, or dungeons you've been to before. Now, these methods of transportation will cause you to shoot up into the air, but feel free to use them indoors by all means. You'll fly right through any bothersome ceilings that would have been ordinarily got in your way. Magic. Oh, I got a copy of the Girl's Own Annual. Take your treasure, man. I don't know. Maybe we are being too hard on it. It's just you can't release, you know, your generic fantasy game in a year where there have been like so many really, really, really good fantasy games. It's just tough. I think the competition is just too hard in that genre. But I am in the minority on that opinion. I think most people are pretty happy with that game. Or at least other streamers are. I don't know if actual people are happy with it, but people that stream video games seem to be happy with it. Yeah, oddly enough, it's only like the actual Tolkien games that that are having trouble. Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of Welsh fantasy, though. Oh, that's right. We can do the red doors now. Alright, I think we got everything here. Wasn't totally sure. Oh yeah, this game manages to be gorgeous. More often than not. Oh yeah, reminds you of the Adriatic. I know. I wish emigrating wasn't such a like a long, painful process, or an expensive process. Otherwise, I would be out. But I must wait. Or I must wait and do things securely in an old man fashion. If I was a young 20-year-old, then I wouldn't care so much. I don't know. I've already done the wife thing. I think I might be done. But I say that now, and you know, you never know who you might meet along the way. But it's definitely not a goal. Like, I don't plan to, like, look for anybody. Like, I'm just perfectly happy just existing as, you know, all by myself, which sounds weird to a lot of people. Like they had to have some sort of defined relationship or something. And that's part of what defines them in their life, but I really don't. Like, I'm one of those guys that could probably live in one of those abandoned mega cities that that the Chinese keep making. You know, where there's like it's like a population of like 400. I'd probably be like, oh, this chill place. Well, especially those. I mean, the way they built those megapolises for those Chinese communities. I mean, like all the architecture is gorgeous. Like all the parks and all the statues. Like everything looks so cool, you know. And with almost no people. I mean, I would love that. But then you'd have to live under Chinese rule, and, you know, who the hell wants that? That wrinkly old geezer up that Dreamer's Tower is a right-up piece of work. Not only did he go and get me banged up and pinched me precious key, and all, me, the great cook Buzzer himself. Bleed neck, you've only got one of them on your hands on me precious thief's key. Opens any red door, it does. If only I'd used it to... Gah, what a plonker I am. A little bit of craftsmanship that, even if I do say so myself... Yeah, I made it with these fair hands, and did I look after it, eh? Look after it, eh? Oh my god, this is written in that stupid speech style. This is the castle dungeon. If you're here to visit a prisoner, just go up the bars to the cell and talk to them. But no funny business, understand? Oh, is it different here? Well... maybe not anymore. You ain't got a key that'll open this door, eh? Ya? Well, then sling your hook. I ain't got no use for you. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, though, you know. I mean, on the West Coast, things are pretty good. I do feel kind of bad for people on the, you know, in the middle of the country. Because it's not... like totally their fault that they kind of ended up the way they did. It was Ortega who inspired me to enlist as a castle guard, you know. And yet he went off to battle the enemy and never returned. I just can't believe he would let himself get killed so easily. He's out there somewhere. I just know he is. Yeah, it's true, we are an island, but we're also the most populated island. I mean, most of us live out here. Most of us in the country live out here. So, it's like, well, I don't know, do I really want this tiny part of the United States pushing me around? Yeah, not really. Yeah, which is the? I mean, I forget the state that actually pays the most in federal taxes. I thought it was California, but it is not, strangely enough. Those stupid grown-ups won't let me go outside because they say that it's too dangerous. Is that I'm smelling old Archie's fault, isn't it? Oh, I hate him. I hate the boring... It's so boring being cooped up in here. I tried to sneak out the other day, but Daddy caught me. He's much more perceptive than he looks. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a very British accent. Not all teeth are there. Seed of magic. Where the hell am I? My God, I'm just wandering around here. I recall reading somewhere that the sealed place on the teleporter could be broken by means of a wrecking ball. Someone was researching wrecking balls, weren't they? Yes, of course. It was that old fellow from Reeve. Rousing ring. Yeah, it is kind of a shame the way the tax system is built, but at the same time, you know. Alright, man, have a good night. I'm actually about ready to end this. It's already over an hour. And we will talk soon. Where's the save? Oh, I think I need to use a seed. Items. Chimera wing. We'll come back here later. Oh, where's the save angel? Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake running on PC. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.